Hello, everyone. This is Adam Meister, the Bitcoin Meister, the Disrupt Meister. Welcome to the One Bitcoin Show. Today is October the 25th. 2018. Strong hand, long-term thinking, unconfiscatable. Bitcoin is the next Bitcoin. This is where the big boys play. Honey Badger. Yes, this represents Bitcoin. It is the Honey Badger. This is a cryptography shirt. Check out the links below to get discounts on t-shirts, affiliate links for Trezor, all that good kind of stuff that I always talk about. And remember, I'll be in New Orleans on the 3rd and 4th of December. Link to that event below. And there's a discount, Meister discount, to get 20% off on that. Remember, Friday, tomorrow, 11 a.m. Eastern Time, Tai Zen will be on the show for This Week in Bitcoin. Oh, yes. Francis Pouliot will be on the show. And Lorian Gamaroff will be on the show from South Africa. So that's 11 a.m. on Friday. That's soon. New York time. That's 8 a.m. in Los Angeles. That is 4 p.m. in London on Friday, 5 p.m. in Johannesburg. So we're going to jump into the content of the show now. The big stuff, because this is where the big boys play. First off, also linked to below. You can friend me on YouTube now. Sometimes you can, sometimes you can't. It's some new feature. I don't even fully understand it. People have asked about it. It's linked to below. Okay, so you have insider knowledge in terms of cryptocurrency and Bitcoin. Yeah, you really do have insider information. You're always talking about, people are always talking about how these people have insider trading info on the stock market, and that's not fair. They know someone and it's illegal, and then the senators are allowed to have it. But in order to have a profitable speculation, you have to know what is going to happen in the future. You have to be confident that the thing that you're purchasing now is going to be worth more in the future, that people do not know something about it that you know, that the market has not factored in that price yet. So and I learned this from J.W. Weatherman, okay? And you should take his course. It is linked to below. You use the Meister discount code. There's a bunch of his links below. Just contact him. Say Meister, Adam Meister. He'll know. $50 off. I reviewed the course, every minute of it. It's good. It's good. We'll talk about that a little later. But this really hit me from the course, though, that if you've been watching my show at least, you know that Bitcoin is going to be big. It's changing the world. The market has not priced in its true value yet. Most people in our space do not understand it. They don't know about the halvings. Most people in the cryptocurrency space are into altcoins. They want their coin to be the next Bitcoin. The information is out there you have to educate yourself in order to become a good, he calls it a speculator. Right? It's an interesting term, but whatever. Let's use JW's, because I've used speculation in a different way before, but let's use the way JW talked about it. In order to be a good speculator, you've got to have insider information. You've got to have information that the market does not have, because if the market fully understood Bitcoin, if the market was fully formed, it's not even formed yet. Again, there are all these wealthy individuals and people who invest in traditional financial instruments that are just on the sidelines, okay? It's a very small market right now, and even in this small market, the information just isn't out there for everyone, okay? But if you are a Bitcoin holder, if you are a 20%er, if you watch this show, you know the information, you know what's going on. So you have information but eventually one has to think that more and more people are going to realize. Now, as more and more people realize, the price is going to go up too. And there's going to be a point where it's no longer special information that we have, that everyone will know it and everyone will be in it. And at that point, we will see what 1 Bitcoin can get you. Of course, 1 Bitcoin will still be 1 Bitcoin, but man, it's going to be able to get you a lot more at that point. But we're still early on. So the knowledge that we have about Bitcoin, that you think, if you've been watching this show for a while, you think, oh, everybody knows about the halving and everybody knows about the deflationary aspect and everybody knows limited supply and this, that, and not centralized and unconfiscatable. Everybody knows that. No, they don't. They don't grasp it at all. The market has not priced it in at all. This is insider information. Really, it is. You're an insider. You are a Bitcoin insider. Pound that freaking like button. And since you should act upon that information the best way you can. Now, if you've got inside information, if you knew something's going to be worth a lot more one day, well, you're going to buy it. You're going to buy it. You're going to buy as much as you can that you think is going to put you into the position that you want to be in the future. So again, this is about deferral gratification. This is about long-term thinking, and it's realizing that eventually it will be too late to act, because this is not going to be insider information. The market will start to price it in. And if you're a holder, you're going to be very happy at that point too, obviously, when you look at the fiat price, when the market starts. But it's just amazing how many people in this space are just naive to Bitcoin. And they are missing out. And as I said, in 2033, people will look back on this and be like, this was insider information? People didn't grasp this? Yeah, they didn't. I'm telling you, if you're watching this 15 years later, people do not understand what is about to happen. They can't even grasp. They don't want to. They want to play other games. They're impulsive. They want short-term fixes that'll make them happy, that'll make them feel like they know what they're doing, because they'll be able to brag to their friends. Look, it just went up X, this much. You've got to that's the beautiful thing about this space. If you take the time to learn and have knowledge, real understanding, real wisdom, that's your insider knowledge. You've got the insider's path to victory before anyone else knows, before it's no longer insider information anymore. Because it is insider information, I guess, is like a dirty word a dirty phrase for some people, but it's not. It's not in this case, at least. All right. Yeah, so don't get distracted. If you're in this space, don't get distracted by flashy graphics and ICOs and all that. But if you're outside of the crypto space now, if for some reason you're watching this video, get out of your old paradigm now. Learn about Bitcoin. You'll get the wisdom and knowledge that will make you feel comfortable and make you understand that you have insider's information that you must act upon ASAP before everybody else gets this insider information that we are privy to right now. We shouldn't consider ourselves lucky. We should consider ourselves smart, because we did the research. We took the time to learn and understand, and now we have the wisdom. Make the most of that wisdom. Be in motion. Okie dokie. Here is a Simon Dixon tweet. More interesting question for me. Are central banks holding Bitcoins as reserves? I suspect some of them are. And a game theory situation will eventually unravel, meaning the central banks with the least Bitcoin loses. That's an interesting way. The central bank with the most Bitcoin wins. How about that one? But yes, this has been a question on my mind for quite some time. Are the central banks, do they already have Bitcoin reserves? When is the first one going to admit it? Again, this is what studying Bitcoin and learning about it gets you, this kind of knowledge. The knowledge, and again, Vinny Lingham said in 2016 that eventually these central banks will acquire it, okay? And if you have that knowledge and wisdom and the understanding to know that, yes, logically, there are going to be central banks that are going to be acquiring this at some point. So you want to get it before that information, that knowledge gets priced into Bitcoin, okay? Or else you're going to end up a no coiner crying, saying, oh, well, I didn't know. I didn't understand. I had no idea it was going to change. I had no idea everybody and their mother was going to want this darn thing, and every central bank was going to start acquiring it. And Had no idea. They were lucky. Those people were lucky. No, we had wisdom. We had knowledge. And again, Simon Dixon throws it out there right now. You have no excuse if you're watching right now, if you don't have any Bitcoin. And you hear a guy like Simon Dixon saying, I wonder, yes, he thinks some are already acquiring it now. And we talked, when I brought up Singapore the other day, I said, maybe they're a smart country. Maybe they're doing it. And Andy Hoffman thinks Japan's doing it. So the thing is, some country is going to do it one day. Okay. And if you know that, and it's not priced in yet, because it's not priced, because most people have no clue that's going to happen. If they did, they'd all get Bitcoin and the price would go insane in terms of fiat. 1 Bitcoin equals 1 Bitcoin. Let's see what's going on in the super chat right there. I think that's my boy Johnny NY. Thanks for the $2. Every MGTOW should own 10 Bitcoin video. Thanks, Adam. Yes, I made a video a while ago that said that. And back then, I think a MGTOW could spend $7,000 and he'd have 10 Bitcoin. Had a MGTOW followed what I said back then, and I'm sure some did, they'd have 10 Bitcoin right now. They'd be that much closer to retirement, if not retired. So yeah, watch my old videos, disruptmeister.com is the archives, techvault.com. You can watch all the old This Week in Bitcoin shows, which are every Friday. There are 91 of them I've done. Disruptmeister.com, there are over 1,100 videos I've been part of. And you can follow me on Twitter at techvault, TECHBALT. That's always a wild and wacky time over there. So, and yes, I post a new video every single day here. So keep on coming back for more of this high energy, fun stuff. Or you can see me speak in New Orleans. Or maybe you can hang out with me in Los Angeles sometime between December 5th and 12th. Or in Israel, in Tel Aviv, starting December 13th. So there is a crypto dividend that I just learned about, of Bcash, that is coming out. It's called Bstash. And then they kind of talk about the mustache. It's like, you know, their symbol is a mustache, Bstash. This appears to be serious, and it appears to be happening on November the 15th. So if you're holding this Bcash, then you're going to get this Bstash. And here I'm going to read from their web. I linked to their website and their Medium post below. So check that out. You can judge for yourself if you think they're serious. If you think this is going to work out. Maybe I should ask Lauren Gamerol's going to be on the show tomorrow. I got to ask him about some Bcash stuff, no doubt. He's into that thing. Hey, but we've all sorts on This Week in Bitcoin show. And who knows what Ty Zen's going to do on my show? You never, that's all, I mean, who knows what's going to happen? But I mean, he might start brawling. You don't know. Okay, but Bstash will be a hard fork of Bcash. With each passing day, as the true value of cryptocurrency becomes better understood, the threat of 51% attacks on Bcash network becomes more imminent. Corporate and private interests combined with greed and incompetence has corrupted the security of the chain. On November 15, 2018, we will provide the solution through merged mining with Bitcoin and Bcash. So again, you can go to bstash.org to learn more about this crypto dividend of Bcash, and their Medium post is also linked to below. Also linked to below is a blog post by breakermag.com. And it says, we asked crypto news outlets if they take money to cover a project. More than half said yes. Now, I haven't read the whole article. Okay, they show a list of some of the crypto news outlets that would gladly take money for an ICO, to write about an ICO. And they listed the prices some of them wanted. And so I've said this before, this is the wild, wild west out there. You wonder why some of these outlets are writing about some of these ICOs sometimes. It's because they're getting paid. There's a lot of glamour, flashiness out there. And it's as simple as BTC. 1 Bitcoin equals 1 Bitcoin. Don't complicate matters. You've got insider information, okay? You've got when someone's flashing you the latest and greatest ICO or altcoin, just remember, I've got insider information about Bitcoin. These people clearly don't. I'm sticking with my premise. I'm long-term here, and eventually they're going to have insider information too, but it won't be insider information anymore. And they will regret. They will regret, like the MGTOWs who stumble upon that video where I said they should have had 10 and they ended up getting 0. And now how hard is it to get 10? So that's an interesting article, obviously, there. A guy I met, Steve Barber, I mentioned this dude before. He's the guy that's mining Bitcoin up on the border of Saskatchewan and Alberta with excess natural gas. He has a tweet that says, mining is the most anonymous means of getting Bitcoin, and it's worth a small premium for that reason alone. And I thought about that, and that gives incentive. That's the most anonymous way of getting Bitcoin. And there's some people that need to get anonymous Bitcoin. They need Bitcoin, but they can't let anyone find out they're getting the Bitcoin. Because you can get Bitcoin and then it's unconfiscatable, and that's great. And that is great. But there are some entities that are deemed unacceptable in this modern world that we live in. And it would be very much worth their while to invest in mining and to get around and then end up with Bitcoin, and no one would know they have Bitcoin, but they're increasing their wealth in Bitcoin. So, and it's not easy to mine, obviously. It's not cheap to mine. But if you really need Bitcoin and you need it, no one to know, or the powers to be, your powers that be to know, that mining is there's an incentive right now to get into it. Again, this is people. Think about the people in Venezuela that are getting into mining various cryptos or Bitcoin, whatever they're exactly doing. I don't want to give away anything, but they don't want to be targets of the government, so they're not just going to buy it on some exchange or whatever where they can be tracked. They just get it, they mine it, and then they do whatever they please with it. They can sell it to people in the streets, whatever. It is an interesting tweet there by Steve, and it was again, it was great to meet him at the Calgary Bitcoin Rodeo back. What was that on? July 9th and 10th? I still know the dates. Yeah, it was July 9th and 10th. July 9th and 10th in Calgary, 11th in Red Deer, 12th in Edmonton, something like that. Okay, offended by selling, baby. Oh, for hardcore readers out there, what's really driving the cryptocurrency phenomenon? This is a big report. And I mean, this is just for hardcore people. If you consider yourself a Bitcoin like expert and want to know about the history leading up to Bitcoin, you can check this link out below. It's been floating around, so I just wanted to share it with everyone. What's really driving the cryptocurrency phenomenon? I think I labeled it hardcore below in the links section. Everything I talk about is in the links below, of course. So here's a tweet. This is a simplified visualization of the current state of crypto labeling. This is from Hash Amadeus. Okay, and it's basically, you got to check out the chart yourself. It's a triangle chart, and at the top you've got the maximalist label. Then in one corner you have the altcoiner. They call it something else with an SH. It starts with altcoiner label. Then in the other side with the circle, you've got no coiner. And so in between each of the three poles there, you've got a gradation of how if they're closer to the maximalist, there's little labels there. But if they're closer to the altcoiner, they're a multi-coiner. Now between between altcoiner and no coiner, they have ripplers. And then between altcoiner and it's no coiner and maximalist, they have what do they have there? This is going from memory, like pre-coiner or something. It's a fun chart. It's a fun chart. It's a somewhat legitimate labeling mechanism, though, for the people that are in the space that we encounter in the land of social media and in the real world, because you're not just, there are some people that are just total no coiners or total maximalist are total altcoiners, but there's in-betweens of each also. So yeah. Oh, JW. I want to talk about JW Weatherman real quick and the course that he has out there. And again, just it's economic knowledge to strengthen your Bitcoin hand. That's what I label it as, describe it as. You learn a lot about some economics and some history. And some of you guys who love that red pill type of stuff, look, oh, I didn't know that about the Federal Reserve. I think it'll appeal but it's good information, and it definitely at the end you do understand that Bitcoin is a very unique situation, and you've got unique information about it. And that if you're going to get into Bitcoin, you should know what you're doing. If you're going to get into anything, any financial mechanism, you should really know what you're doing. And most of the time, you don't. People think they're so smart. Oh, I got a 401k and it's invested in all these stocks, and they don't know the first thing about the stocks. They don't know the first thing, but they're getting a return every year. That doesn't mean they've done the right thing. Not at all. They don't even understand what the heck they've done. You don't want to be in that. You want to understand what you have done, and you want to be confident that you have done the best thing. So he gives you a knowledge base, and then he builds it up, and you get to interact with him, and you get to be an alumni. It's a very interesting thing. So again, I watched every minute of it. I think it is worth your while to investigate it. If your hand, especially if your hand is not as strong as it should be. And if you're interested in learning, because learning, maybe it'll make you even want to get more Bitcoin. Maybe who knows what it'll do. I do not know. But again, check it out. Meister code. He'll answer all your questions. You get $50 off if you. I link to all the ways to contact him below. And he's in motion. The dude is freaking in motion. And I always mention people who are in motion, trying to increase people's knowledge base so they have a better understanding of Bitcoin, and so they can preserve their wealth and value their wealth in Bitcoin. All right, click on those squares if you're watching this taped to see my old shows. Also, bang that bell button if you need a reminder when this thing goes live. Tomorrow, Friday, again, 11 a.m. Baltimore and New York City time, Washington, D.C. time is the This Week in Bitcoin show. That is 4 p.m. in London and 5 p.m. in Johannesburg, where Lorian will be coming from. And that is all from the Honey Badger Bitcoin Meister. Bye.